Welcome to this Sahara 4 exercise. In this exercise, we will discuss some extra configuration associated with the layer button bar. For that, we will open our Sahara project, and once here, we will go to Project, Preferences, and go to the menu Layer Button Bar. Here, we can modify where the layer button bar is going to be located. For example, if I pick left, now the layer button bar is going to be located on the left of the screen. I can modify this by dragging like this, and now the layer button bar is now on top again. You can drag the layer button bar by clicking with the left button of the mouse and moving it to any of the sides or the top. Then if we go back to the previous menu, preferences, here we can decide which font is going to be used for the letters in the layer button bar. Here we can decide which colors are going to be associated with producers, injectors, or the layers that are both being produced and injected by the selection of wells. As we discussed previously, if the layer status is imported correctly and the object status is calculated or imported as well, the layer that is open when selecting a producer is going to be marked with this green color. For example, 7, 8, 12 and 19 is obviously going to depend on the date. For example, this well was later converted to injector, and here we can see that all of them switch to blue because that's the color that is decided by default when we have an open layer in an injector. So we can in the case that we have producer and injector, we can see that the color is going to be red. This can be modified as we were discussing in preferences here. For example, let's say I want to see producers in black, I want to see injectors in light blue, and I want to see when I have a producer and injector and the layer is being produced and injected in that selection of wells, I want to have this purple color. So now you can see that, well, maybe it's not the best selection of colors, but what we can see is that this layer is producing in all these layers, this well, sorry, is producing in all these layers, this injector is injecting in all these layers, and when selecting both, the ones that are on purple are being produced and injected by this group selection, these two wells, and in this group selection, the layer 12 is only being injected and we are not producing from it. So that's another thing we can modify. Also, if we go back here to preferences, we can let's go back to the original colors that we have. Red here. Here we can define if we want to show the layer colors next to their name. For example, if I leave it here like layer, show layer color at the layer level, we will see the color associated with each layer that can be modified here in edit layer data, static data. So now we are going to see the corresponding color to each layer next to it. Or if we want to, we go back to preferences. If we want to do it at the formation level, we are going to see different colors for each formation. In this case, the formation that we call in the structure red is going to have this color associated to the formation that can also be modified in layer edit static data, or the magenta formation is going to have this other color that in this case is quite similar, but you can see a difference here in the screen. So the color is going to be associated to the formation instead of the layer. We will unselect this option here, and finally we can decide the button size of the layer button bar. Here, for example, we can select it here, and now the buttons are going to be bigger. So that will be everything for this tutorial. I will move it back to the original size because this looks too big. So now we have the previous size. And thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day.